they are a playoff experience ball club.
Can't get much closer to the goal line.
Second down, 14, back at their 3. Jeff Lorenz punches his way up to the 7.5-yard line. Tim Holt, who goes both ways, in on the stop.
Jeff Lorenz is only a junior this year. He'll be back for another season at Hudson. And he's the man in the backfield. 1,421 yards on the season.
And 19 touchdowns, so he's really
That's even
something.
better.
Our cameraman standing right there in the back of the end zone, so you can see how far Hudson has to move the football. 3rd and 9 at the 8-yard line, and flags fly again. Too much time.
We have a new quarterback in the game, so that can throw off your cadence a little bit. Be expected.
Those things will happen when you get an inexperienced man back in there. Just the start of the ball game. 5 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It is scoreless.
3rd and 14. Long ways to go.
The Hudson Pirates back at their own 3.5-yard line. 3rd and 14. The pitch to Dean Lane, and he will go nowhere. Joe Edmondson turned that play in for the Sigourney Savages.
Tried to break him to the outside, but that is a dangerous play down near your goal line to try a pitch out. There's always a chance of a fumble.
Tim Holt also in there on the stop. So we'll see that left-footed kicker again, Kevin Dimmler.
And he's backed up to the goal line, the end of the goal.
Got to watch out for the safety right there. And we have flags flying again. Encroachment, the call against Hudson. One of their men lined up offside. And now they're on their own 2-yard line.
The only thing that is saving Hudson from going in the end zone is it's physically impossible to keep dividing by half each time the yardage. There's no way you can get to 0.
There's our cameraman standing right next to the punter. 4th and 16, and the ball is rolled to the punter and snapped out of bounds. That will be a safety. So Kevin Dimmler receives a bad snap from center, and he wisely just punched the ball out of the end zone rather than fumble away a possible touchdown. And Sigourney goes in front of the ball game 2-0.
Sigourney has a tendency to score, but this is probably the first time that they've ever received 2 points this early in the game from a safety. And of course, Hudson will have to kick off now, and Sigourney will get possession again.
Sigourney takes a 2-0 lead, and Hudson will get a free kick from their own 20-yard line. Kevin Dimmler can either tee up the football or punt it. It will be his choice. Terry Wachter and Tim Holt, 2 of the deep men. Jeff Margette is also back there deep, awaiting the punt of Kevin Dimmler.
Going to have an opportunity for very good field position on the punt.
Dimmler appears to be confused. He cannot cross that 20-yard line. Gets off a nice punt. Pushes Holt back to his own 28-yard line, and he brings it out to the 45.
Sailed nearly 50 yards on the punt. But a nice return, so Sigourney, the Savages, starting with good field position at their own 45 with a 1st and 10 with a 2-0 lead early in the game.
49-yard punt by Kevin Dimmler, who has quite a foot. And it was his heads-up play that avoided a possible fumble recovery and a touchdown for Sigourney. But the Savages get a safety and lead 2-0. Jim House tries the left side, and a flag is down. The officials getting a workout there on those little yellow flags they've got, Russ.
It's kind of surprising. Last night the games progressed quite well. A few penalties called, but nothing like this. We've already had half a dozen penalties, and the game is only 7 minutes old.
And the penalty is refused against Sigourney. So gain of about a half a yard in the play, 2nd and 9.5. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sigourney on top, 2-0. Margette wants to throw. Incomplete. Intended out here for Joe Edmondson, with Rich Raji on the coverage for the Pirates.
Ran the same pattern earlier and completed the pass. This time it was out to the right flat, but a little too far ahead of the receiver.
Joe Edmondson goes out. Don Easter comes back in with the play. They will alternate with the plays as they come in from the coach, Chuck Henry. Margette wants to throw the football again. He's in trouble. He gets it off to House, and House has a first down and more as he brings it into Hudson territory. But a flag is down back at the 49-yard line, and Dwayne Nealons is down for Hudson back at the 34-yard line.
That was an interesting play.
Offensive pass interference.
House was going for the screen there, and of course the quarterback, we see it in the replay. Quarterback was trapped. And he drew in the defenders there, and House was open for the pass and received it. This is going to march him way back on the penalty. 7th call already in the game.
And offensive pass interference also carries with it the loss of a down. So instead of a first down in Hudson territory, it will be 3rd and forever, 3rd and 24.5. 4th and 24, excuse me. So the punting unit comes on for Sigourney. Randy Ransom back deep to receive Dean Hammis' punt, and it bounces around at the 43-yard line where it is down.
Flags are thrown again in the backfield. It's going to have to punt it over.
Illegal procedure, the call against Sigourney. There are so many yellow flags down there that I think everybody just emptied their pocket. That is the Hudson quarterback, Bob Martin, and it is his left ankle. His left ankle. He came hobbling off. He goes both ways. And I'm sure all the Pirate faithful are hoping that Martin will come back in the ball game. Hudson has declined the penalty, and the Pirates will take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Marty Kerr, the junior, in there at quarterback. And he's got it on the left side. He wants to throw the football. Incomplete. Intended for Mark Shellhorn, 6'4", 185-pound senior, who has caught 4 TD passes this year. Tim Holt on the coverage. Three minutes and 36 seconds to go. And so for a sloppily played first quarter. Sigourney on top, the result of a fumble, 2-0. Jeff Lorenz, and he'll get a couple. Chris Holt on the tackle for the Savages.
It's a question whether the defense or the penalty flags have been playing better. Flags have driven them back more yardage than the defense actually has. It's going to be a 3rd and 7 from near midfield. Hudson with possession.
Ah, those terrible towels. 3rd and 7 for the Pirates, 46-yard line, inside handoff to Lorenz, and he will not pick up the first down.
Okay, now we'll get a chance to see the punter again with a clean snap this time, hopefully.
Mike Landon, the stop for Sigourney. So Kevin Dimmler, who received a bad snap the last time and it resulted in a safety, will try to get a clean one this time. Terry Wachter and Jim House back deep. And it is fumbled. And House appears to have fallen on the football at the 15.5-yard line.
An instance of no communication back there. See the replay, they collide with each other actually, both fighting for the ball. It's common practice to always let your teammate know exactly where you're going, especially in a situation like that. You do not want to fumble deep in your own territory.
46-yard punt. Net. 1st and 10. Full house tee for the Savages. And that's Holt across the 20 up to the 22-yard line.
The replay, hold around right end. Pick up a nice gain of about 5 yards.
John
He's
Hammer
second and
coming
4.
in there to make the stop. They'll call it a gain of 6. Bring up a 2nd and 4, the ball just across the 22-yard line. That's Holt again. He has the first down and more as he crosses the 30-yard line.
Pulled off left tackle this time. They're trying to build some consistency with their running game. Past series, they went to the air.
Ken Murray coming up from his cornerback slot to make the stop. Kevin Dimmler also on the stop. 1st and 10, Sigourney Savages. They have the ball at their own 31-yard line. And we have a horn go off and flags fly everywhere. But there's a minute and 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Outsides on the defense. Is looking for the call, possibly for the offensive line, drawing the defense off. Not the case. So it'll be a 1st and 5 for Sigourney.
And that horn must be somewhere in the stands. It almost sounded like the end of the first quarter.
Stadium horns. Remember those well?
1st and 5, a minute and 19 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sigourney on top, and they have the football. Marquette wants to throw the football. Passes out to Holt.
It's got a first down.
Brought down by Kerr, but not before he picks up a first down and crosses the 40-yard line.
Holt is the workhorse. Through the air, on the ground. When they need the yardage, he is the man to go to. The replay. Sprint out around the left. And Holt's open. He's got good hands there. Pass was a little low, but he dug it out.
First and 10, Sigourney Savages. This drive started back at their 14-yard line. Inside handoff to House, and he's got about 7 or 8 yards and approaches midfield.
They're just opening up the line completely here. Sigourney is controlling the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 3rd and 3 now for Sigourney. Nice gain there, 7 yards.
Nick Evans and Mike Schindel are finally doing the dirty work, but not after a gain of 7 yards. 2nd and 3, a lot of movement both ways. We'll see which way these flags go.
Here's the tight end. It was offsides for Sigourney.
Dwayne Nealon's the stop, and it will go against the Sigourney Savages. Some of the Hudson interested boosters there. And the 5-yard walk-off against Sigourney brings up a 2nd and 7.
He's 2nd and 8 now.
That's Holt. He has the first down and more. Crosses midfield down to the 45-yard line. Rich Raji finally stops Holt.
Just shifted his direction quite nicely here. Cut across the grain. Had one man to beat. 25. Excellent ankle tackle.
And that's the end of the first quarter. There's a timeout on the field with the score